Hey there friends, and welcome to episode 6 of my beginner's playthrough of Iratus Lord of the Dead. And just as I have announced in the last episode, we're going to introduce the Shade this time. The Shade is a very versatile minion offering stress damage, magical damage, and supportive qualities for your team and as well for Mr. Iratus, offering a widespread array of abilities which all need a certain sort of preparation or, hard to it always needs a certain form of preparation or a certain sort of codependence. So let's start here. His feature is each time an enemy attacks the Shade and misses, they receive damage. So that's one good thing. These guys counterattack whenever they get attacked. We can use that for advantage as well. So first skill is a stance which triggers a counter attack whenever a minion gets attacked. This is quite cool because this mimics the skill of the skeleton without the downside that the skeleton needs to get attacked to trigger the counter attack. So we can enhance that for more power or for more protection to the minions, which is quite cool. We have another buff which lets the Shade and the target swap positions and buffs evasion insanely, which will interact with his feature skill quite well. So we have a mana gain skill for Iratus, which is also very, very powerful considering that mana is usually not too easy to come by. Some accuracy debuff, some magic attack dealing damage depending on the amount of missing sanity, and some trap effect which will deal a percentage amount of the current vigor as damage. So long story short, this guy works a lot with position displacements, evasion skills, and other effects we will explore during this episode. It all sounds a little bit complicated at the first glance, but it just is not as complicated as it looks like. One good thing about this guy is also he interacts very well with copies of himself, so putting more than one Shade into your team can work out perfectly, because these skills, I can see at the first glance, they are interacting with copies of themselves quite well. So for today, I'm going to invest into the Pain Amplification stance, which will trigger a big counterattack, a big stress counterattack whenever my people get attacked, so we're going to use that. So what options are available here? Oh well, I'm not too interested into installing any of those items, so we're going to proceed here. Another thing which is really important for the coming fights is we're facing now new enemies, thus we're going to need new strategies, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the new enemies we're facing. So what are we going to build next? I think I want more excavation for more parts, for more minions, so we're going to craft us a little zombie to expand this place. Alrighty. The Shade is the first minion I considered personally as more complex in his skill interactions as the most people before, and that's mainly because the position swapping is, well, not so much part of the strategy of the basic units you have at the beginning of the game. So we're going into the next level now. I'm skipping the text here because I don't want to spoil too much story here. So that's going to be our first enemy. I can see that there are a few enemies up there which deal insane damage, being the Berserkers, and there's one enemy type in particular we have to take care about as a stress team, but more about that later. So Berserkers are, just as you might assume, quite good at dishing out damage, and they keel over quite quickly. They're not armored well. Well, they have a lot of sanity, so it's easier to kill them with raw damage, but no, actually not. their feature is dealing themselves stress damage at the start of their actions, and they gain attack for every point of sanity missing, so that's the thing, they're actually countering stress attacks quite well, and the Dwarven Warriors just feature a lot of resistances and nothing apart that. Okay, so what's really important in these situations is that we're going to strip as many buffs from the enemies as possible. So let's turn down some AoE and start to stress those peeps out. Okay, so I'm triggering the pain amplification skill here, and the really good thing about this is my minions here are all quite happy with swapping positions like that. Every of these three guys is really good at their respective positions, so there we go. While they're dishing out some good damage on my Dark Knight, the Pain Amplification aura deals a lot of damage here. So I'm going to use the Abyssal Hunger here to heal my Dark Knight up, because I don't want him to die. So here we are. Our enemies already have some buffs on themselves, so I can't strip the buffs right now. Okay. So we're going to drop down some evasion skill on the on our friend here. That was quite necessary here. So I'm going to use the black light debuff here to destroy their accuracy. There we go. So the combination of evasion buff and accuracy debuff made a lot of good things for us happen here. So the counter attack when he gets missed. There we go. So I guess I'll just blind this guy as well. And yeah, we're just going to finish this one. Quite simple here. Yeah, well, this guy takes a while until he gets his hard attack. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, friend. And welcome to my army. What do we have here? A creepy doll. At the start of combat, all enemies must pass a sanity check. Awesome. I should use these one-time items a little bit more often. So let's get right into this, right? Shall we? I have a good idea like that. Let's use it right away. The difficulty level here is not too high, but well, the enemies are still able to destroy my minions quite well. So we're going to use the Philosopher's Stone. We're going to get an artifact here for that. So okay, so that was a quite nice first show for the Shade. So let's check. We're going straight ahead here. Sacrificial Altar. I'm having somebody I want to sacrifice. Wonderful. So there we go. What do we get here? More parts than we have in last. A mechanical eye. The minion's abilities can't miss. Okay. And a gambling chip. This is really nice because for stress compost the additional vigor doesn't mean too much. So similar fight as the last one, but I don't want to use the Dark Knight here this time. We're going to adapt a little bit here. Oh, I forgot to put somebody in the arena. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? So the Dead Lake is not built yet. Let's change that. Having a chance of gaining an artifact at the beginning of every fight is, well, let's just do that. Alright. A new talent is available, but I want to catch my ability points until I can learn the blind skill, because you just saw how much destruction it brings to the enemy formation if their accuracy values get wrecked, so I want to facilitate that a little bit more. Okay. For the next fight, we're going to use our friend the mummy a little bit more, I'd say. I'm going to use the mummy in the front line. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's go. Whoops, that was the wrong button. I'm personally a quite big fan of the versatility of the Shade. He offers so many different skills. One of the key features I like the most is that with this minion in your formation, you always have the option to provide your stress damage combo with a solid damage dealer that doesn't have any downsides while being a very good stress damage dealer. So, okay, what do we do with our good friend here? Ah, well. Yeah, let's do a little whale here. Why not? And go into the pain amplification stance. Well, okay, that I should consider the next time that pain amplification is not that cool if your guys are all having blocks. I underestimated how many blocks I had here. Okay. So let's go with the trick of the eye here. Swap positions with the Banshee to be able to turn on the other skill again. Ooh, that hurt. Well, Berserkers, you should actually never fight like I do that here. It's quite dangerous, because their feature basically makes them a lot stronger whenever their sanity starts to fall down. But on the other side, I was able to burst him down quite quickly. Okay, but we're going to finish this problem without losing our mummy. There we go. Why did he remove all the armor? Oh, well. Can't remember where that debuff comes from, but that doesn't matter too much. We're dropping down the Spectral Fog on the mummy here, and that should be enough to save the guy. So sadly my allies all have no debuffs, so I can't facilitate the self-healing skill of the mummy. So the mummy has no particular synergy with this formation in particular, which is a little bit sad, but well, I wanted to try it out. I think I'm going to leave the blindness on him. And there we go. So we have a Sadist's Hand. Nice. A lot of armor. Ribcage armor. Minions gain 6 armor. Okay. Or Vagrant's Rags. Increase the chance to receive uncommon or better parts. And a big old brain to amplify my minions with. Nice. Okay, so that didn't work out too well. So as you might have already noticed, I'm not convinced of this combination here. But that's okay. I think this one was a really, really good one. But I want to use the other skills of this guy a little bit more now too. Okay, I don't have any digger souls left to do much more. Next up, I want to increase the arena's level a little bit more. Okay, let's check out our options with the items here. Oh, the Sadist Hand sure sounds like a nice thing to use, but I'm going to keep that for a real damage dealer. Yeah. Boiling Blood. So that would be something for the Lich if you want to use an empty slot once strategy. Oh, we're having a new ability upgrade for our Shade. That's good. So I wanted to use the Blacklight upgrade or the Gloom Claws upgrade. The Gloom Claws works like this. I already explained it. The more damage, the less sanity. And there's also the option to let the target lose all ward or just deal more damage. I just want to go for more damage if I do that. But as a matter of fact, I felt like the Blacklight upgrade would be the most appealing to me, because more accuracy debuffs sounds like extremely useful to me. Okay, we need to use some stat points here as well. Or do we? Not really so far. Okay. I'm going to give my Dark Knight a little bit more vigor here. There we go. So let's proceed. Oh, I have enough souls now to expand my arena. That's wonderful. We need another bride for that. No problem. There we go. So, I'm going to train my Mr. Lich a little bit. Ah, well. I want to use the Spooky Skeleton a little bit for this fight. We're going to use the Unnerving Fortitude for sure, but also the Smite skill here. Because the Smite here is also a very nice addition for the skeleton. Oh, considering the items. He has an item slot open. I want to use that. And he has a lot of skill points too. So, for me, I'm a really big fan of the skeletons. I really have to say. I consider them one of the most useful skills in the game. I'm making this guy receptive for buffs. So I want to do that mistake again. Okay, so we're facing a new dwarven nemesis here, so let's go for that. So, new guys here are the treasurers. They are basically they're the supportive units of the Dwarven Empire, as far as I remember them correctly. And yeah, these guys are just buffing the dwarves up. Oh, I don't have. No, I do have. Okay. So we're going to use the usual procedure here. So this is now real double trouble. We have the Shade and the Skeleton doing funny things here. Okay. So, ooh, we could also do a no combo, but for now I'm going to go with a Spectral Fog for our Mr. Skeleton here. Which didn't work out at all, but that's okay. So there you have it, he's buffing his allies. Okay. So for the Berserker guy now, I'm going to focus him down physically. I just came to the decision that with these guys, it's just very foolish to stress them dead. So here we have the Smite. Smite debuff combo being really good, and now I use the Gloom Claws to finish this guy off. 174 damage. So there you have it. And I'll keep the debuffs on those guys coming. So I'm going to use... oh, well, I'm tempted to use the evolution, but I won't. We're going to do the buff stripping from this guy. He is a big damage dealer after all. And there you have the first guy fleeing, so... they're losing their fighting spirit after that quickly. So the dwarves are the first faction which will force you to adapt your strategies if they are too heavily one-sided. I mean, we had the golems in the last area already, which were featuring some sort of stress immunity. But these guys, we're going to face some other sorts of enemies. The Berserkers really heavily punish the overusage of stress, as you might have noticed there. And there are also there's also a class of supporters during the next few fights, which will give us some other problems there as well. Okay. So this guy's insane now. Let's check out the Gloom Claw damage again, or we're going to use the Deep Shadows so you see that as well. So you're creating a field which constantly does this damage here. So it's just that. Just wanted to have it activated once during this fight. Now we're going to use the Gloom Claws here. Oh, it's nasty damage. Really nasty damage. So you could also double these guys and go for really cheesy strategies, but I'm going to feature that, I guess, on the higher difficulty levels. So we're now having either a grave where we can grab up a minion or a fight, which would end in a healing fountain thingy. No thanks. I'm going to pick up the grave here. What's in the box? Oh, we can have a another shade here, or no, not shade, lost soul. I'm going to keep that guy for another time. You know my motto. So here's the first trader on the enemy team, and an elites, and wow, that's a nasty one. So we're going to bring the big guns here. I plan to change my formation here, because you know me, I like to show off the minions in in as many different formations as possible. So we're going to use a damage formation again here. So I feel like going for something classy here. There we go. Or maybe a Banshee on the second slot instead of the Zombie. For the supportive skills. Yeah, we're going to use the Banshee here. Banshee, mainly because of her ability to debuff the enemy's offensive skills, which is really just very, very useful. So, dropping down some... Oh, well, let's increase this guy's attack. Why not? And our bride is able to learn a better heart piercer, chest piercer. The heart piercer would be that. Huh. Stun on crit or insane damage on crit? Yeah, we're going to go for a stun on crit. Stuns are just stronger than just raw damage, in my opinion. It doesn't work on bosses, but well... There's more to this game than bosses, so yeah, we're just took a look on the clock here. Okay, the next fight's going to be a rough one, and I'm looking up into my artifact thingy if I have stuff I want to use here. So how about using the Jar of Blood, which will heal up my minions after this fight, because something tells me we're going to get roughed up here quite heavily. Okay, let's go. Alright, so we have here the Oracle, which is, if I remember correctly, they are supporters and buffers. So if she's the last remaining squad member, she's going to run away, which means focusing her is, well, not really necessary, but it's a tough spot. You can save killing her if you are able to endure her doing, or you need to focus her out. We're having an elite berserker on these guys, so I'm quite happy I'm not playing on stress for this one, and we're having the trader. Yeah, so the berserkers don't have any other features, so let's do this. I'm going to start with a little Black Radiance spell here on the berserker to debuff his accuracy right away. And we're going to use a crescendo afterwards. So there's some debuffing going on already. Blocking stands for the Skelly. And here's the thing with our friend, the trader. No slacking. Whenever an ally takes targeted damage, remove all debuffs from them, restore 20 sanity, and increase initiative by 2 until the end of the battle. So whenever I go for a targeted attack, this guy will increase, will buff and heal the stress from these guys, which is just horrible. I'm going to focus down the Berserker first. So here you have it. Buffing his buddy. But I have a certain question in mind that I want to answer myself. So another real dangerous thing about this combo here, as you've seen it, the Oracle marks people which get double damage from every source, which is, as you've seen there, quite nasty. Okay. So I want to know if, yeah, if I miss, nothing happens. Okay. Let's at least remove the wards on the whole team. That was the idea behind that one. So I'm going to keep my fire up on that guy. And well, we're going to Gloomclaw this guy away, so I have one problem less to worry about. Okay, that's good. So there's a lot of stuff going on for our enemies, which is quite good for them. I don't like that. But luckily I have the smite available on my skeleton, which will, oh well, I'm going to go on the Oracle now. My Banshee's pretty close to dying there. Don't like that. So let's buff them up a little here. Well, that didn't work out. Oh well. So here you have a dwarven setup working just nicely. I'm well aware that I could have done that a lot better if I just interrupted his stance there, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit what happens when you let those guys do as they want to. So next fight we're going to make that a little bit better. But for now, it's going to be like just like it is. I'm using Oh, I wanted to use Hail of Teeth on that guy. Dang it. That was not my plan. No. Well, let's see that again. Okay. It was, of course, completely useless because I didn't want to debuff the Oracle there. So... we're going to go on this guy now. Oh man. So +6 attack on this at this point already, so... Ooh. Good job. Wow. All those misses. Alright. So that's why you have to take countermeasures against these guys, because it just won't work like that if you're not take precautions. I think I'm going to lose somebody else here. No, okay. My skeleton is pretty close to dying here as well. So we're going to increase the defense here a little bit of the Spectre and decrease his accuracy further. Okay, we only lost the Banshee, and the other guys will be all full HP again. Alright. Sometimes you lose minions, that's just how it is. Oh, we have an Acid Gland. That's the armor and resistance stripping item. Okay. So, we're going to let that not happen again. So we can use just to raise the level of our minions. Or Iratus, okay. So I'm just deciding where to head next. I think I'm going to hit this way here. So we're going to... pick our formation like this again, because I like that one the most. So, XP for minions, there we go. Alright. So, I think I'm going to cut this episode here, and next episode we're going to dive into a new minion, and that's going to be the Headhunter. I'm going to use the Lost Soul later, because I feel like the Headhunter will be much more of a good addition for my team. So, next episode we're going to go into that guy, and then it's going to be, well, I need a few more bones for the for my first bone golem. We're far away from the ghoul, but maybe we can do that. We're going to see when we're unlocking the others. So, my friends, feel free to drop me a comment down below if you have anything to tell me, or I would deeply appreciate any support in form of thumbs up or subscriptions to my channel if you want to, but I don't mind if you don't. Most important thing, have fun, come back, and I hope you're staying for another round of Iratus. See you guys, bye-bye.